I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I like saying I told you so when I told you so. It appears that Errol Spence Jr. is going to get exactly what Errol Spence Jr. said he was going to get, despite the machinations and the drama around Terence Crawford and Turkey Al-Sheikh, as it has been revealed that Errol Spence Jr. should be fighting Sebastian Fundora in January. And there's also a lot of other PBC fighters talking about their dates being released. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Terence Crawford is not in the position that Terence Crawford thought he was in. And Errol Spence Jr. is in a very strong position, stronger position than people thought he was in. And why is that? Because boxing has a business aspect to it. And that business aspect is not all about money. It's also about relationships. It's also about the long-term benefit of people and organizations. It's also about loyalty and the relationship between two people and an example being set in that relationship for other people to see. And when people see that relationship, they look at it and say, hey, that's what I want. You ever wonder why people cannot freely steal Al Haymon fighters? And why Al Haymon still seems to stay afloat no matter how hard people try to keep him from doing so? A lot of that has to do with relationship building. And it appears as if because Errol Spence Jr. has a strong relationship with Al Haymon, that he's going to get something that he deserves. And that's a fight with Sebastian Fundora. And Terence Crawford is not going to be able to finesse his way into those things. Let me explain what I mean. But before I do, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. And thank you to Matty O. Thank you to Barbara D for all the support. Hey, by the way, Matty O, hit me up with an email, man. I got something for you. If you've seen this, I hadn't seen you in a while, make sure you hit me up because I got something for you. You don't always come by the live streams, but you're such a big supporter that the channel has some stuff that we're giving to people. So if you have an opportunity, come to the live stream, hit me up. But let's get into this. So Errol Spence Jr. lost to Terence Crawford. So people assume that that means that Errol Spence Jr. is done. And now Terence Crawford is in the slot that Errol Spence Jr. was in or elevated above it. Because clearly he's displayed that he is a better fighter. He's an undefeated fighter. He is a two-time undisputed champion and now a three-weight division champion. He is obviously, according to people's mentalities, the best guy at 154. So he's going to be the one that needs to fight for all the titles at 154. Only problem is that's really not how it works. And it's not been how it works for a long time. And in fact, it may never have been how it works. See, the way that boxing is organized, you have sanctioning bodies that create the belts and administer the belts. And you have promoters that put on the events that feature the sanctioning bodies' belts. And those events feature those sanctioning body belts with fighters signed to the promoter. The source of revenue for those belts over the course of time come from the promoter, not the fighter. Over time. That's why you consistently see Bob Arum getting WBO titles. Frank Warren continually getting WBO titles for his fighters. Because they have a relationship where they put their fighters, the WBO fighters put their fighters in those rankings, the way that they want them in the rankings. And this has gone through all portions of boxing. So you should not be surprised at all when somebody that is as big and has made as much money as an advisor and a manager for sanctioning bodies as Al Heyman has over a course of years, that they may very well take his interest into mind when they are doing what they're doing with their rankings and the belts that they fight for. So Al Heyman does not have a good does not obviously have a good relationship with the WBO, because that's Bob Arum, that's Frank Warren, that's that crew. It's not surprising at all that the WBO would go through all kind of different hoops to get that belt away from Al Heyman and back to either a Bob Arum fighter, a Frank Warren fighter, or something like that. Which is why I think you saw all that action with the WBO and their Super Championship and ordering Tim Tszyu to fight him and the winner of Tszyu and Fundora to fight him. But then, or the Tszyu and Thurman to fight. Well, first of all, they stripped Jermell fast as they could get him. Then they threatened to strip Tim Tszyu as fast as they could get it, and then they threatened to strip Fundora as fast as they can strip him to give Bud a fight. Right? Bud has gotten a shot for every one of those titles. This is the first time he's got it but not being associated with Top Rank. So you would think that means, hey, Bud is going to get it. No, for a variety of things that is switched up. Number one, WBC belt is held by Fundora. So there is a belt that Fundora can have no matter what. The WBO can't force him to do anything because he can let that WBO belt be gone and he'll still be a world champion. And more importantly, ain't nobody paying for Sebastian Fundora's fights except Al. Okay, so no, more than likely, they're not going to go that route, and that's what I told you. When Errol was in that ring to get Tszyu, fighting the win of Tszyu Fundora, bro, that's what it was going to be. Just like when Fundora beat Tszyu, Tszyu didn't stay with the WBO. Tszyu just got a turnaround. Got to fight for the IBF with Murtazaliev for the IBF belt, which means you're going to have the IBF. You're going to have the IBF and the WBC right there with the PBC. And then you have Errol, who's going to be able to hop up probably to go to Lara at 160. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Errol winds up with the Canelo fight. That's something that Kamal Oz, shout out to Kamal Oz, said on my channel on our live stream. And I thought it was a really good point. It's like, man, do not be surprised at all if what you wind up seeing is Terence Crawford not getting the Canelo Alvarez fight, but Errol getting the Canelo Alvarez fight. And why would that be? Because the fan base of Errol did not transfer to Terence Crawford. What Terence Crawford is doing is he is trying to use Turkey to force this in. Similar to the way that Terence tried to squeeze in a hedge fund into the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight the first time. He's trying to lean Turkey into the middle of this. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Turkey ain't got enough money to buy Al. I mean, if he does have enough money to buy Al, he better offer the money. But even then, it's not you can't buy the skill set. And I don't even think Al Heyman would sell. Because quite honestly, Al Heyman got to be pushing 70 and has got to be all kind of rich. You know what I mean? He's got to be all kind of rich. But anyway, look, man, loyalty is going to get rewarded, man. Loyalty gets rewarded. That's something that you can clearly see with the PBC. Danny Garcia, man, he fought 2 years, man. Went out with a big fight on a Canelo undercard against Erislandy Lar. Loyalty. Erislandy Lar is still fighting, still getting world championship shots as loyalty. Errol's going to get champion shots. Loyalty. Right? But okay. Keep acting like y'all is going to overcome these guys like it's easy money. Like I said, Errol will be fighting Fundora, and Errol will probably fight Tim Tszyu, and they're not going to bend over backwards to give anything to Terence because Terence not loyal. But that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. Specifically, man, let's start focusing on what is really going to happen and what's not right and wrong about it. Because quite honestly, man, Errol deserves a shot at a championship at 154 just like Terence does. He really does. He's a three belt holding champion in the weight class before. He had one loss, but guess what? Shoot, so did everybody else. Sebastian Fedora got knocked out. He got a shot. He got knocked out by Mendoza, right? You have Tim Tszyu about to get a shot. He just lost to Sebastian Fedora, right? Like Landy Lara got shots. He had lost to Canelo. He had lost to Hurd. People don't go away off of a loss, man, just because you want to beat their names down and want them to go away, especially if you really just doing it to try to buff up somebody else that, people ain't really rocking with like that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.